Alright everyone, the Mad Lads are actually going to do it. It looks like El Salvador is poised to become the first nation to accept Bitcoin as a literal legal tender. That is that it will have all of the rights and privileges of their normal currency. Now, first let's get out of the way the part that makes this funny and is not particularly meaningful. El Salvador is a minor economy. It's a small nation with a small population and a very small GDP. It's third world, essentially, rocked by cartel violence. Finally, they'll be able to legitimately claim that cartels are dealing with Bitcoin. That's the big attack line of the lefties and the neo-libs and stuff. They're worried that people like me will gain upward mobility even more, especially independent commentators, because they often are tech literate and got in on Bitcoin early. So they're trying everything that they can to limit its spread and influence, because what they want to do is drive the price down so that people like me will get out of the market in fear, and then they'll sweep it all up. I think this is what's happening. This is why I'm holding on for dear life. I'm holding a great deal of crypto and probably will get more if it continues to fall at any point in the immediate future. By the way, financial advice not being given. Disclaimer, I'm not a financial expert. This is just my opinions. But this is meaningful, on the other hand, because this is the first potential domino to fall. It's starting small with El Salvador. You will probably see other nations begin to adopt cryptocurrency as a de facto legal currency. This is good. This is excellent. It shouldn't be, by the way, there shouldn't be transaction taxes. Like right now, if I buy $1,000 of Bitcoin and then I sell $1,000 of Bitcoin, while I have to pay taxes on the sale, I don't get any sort of write-off on the actual buying up of the Bitcoin. So it's treated as a commodity, a currency, and a non-tangible asset all at the same time, with the government trying to skeeve on all three levels in order to exert maximum control. The fact that cryptocurrency is so abused, so maligned, so propagandized about, and until very recently was not used by many people until literally the last couple of years, the fact that it's still got the value that it has and has risen to the heights that it has shows me that it has staying power. Again, this is my opinion. Now that a nation, even if it's just a minor state, is adopting it as a legal tender, I think this will influence other nations, and in relatively rapid succession over the next few years, you'll end up with dozens or maybe 100 nations or something accepting it. Now, some nations have banned it, like China has cracked down, India, some of these others. It's not certain which particular ideological side is right, because what they're trying to do is shelter themselves, but the problem is because it is interchangeable with their currencies anyway, because it's interchangeable with other currencies that could be used as a middleman. Like, for instance, if I have $10,000 of Bitcoin, I can't, like, in banking in China, I can't get, the equivalent in yuan. But I could get US dollars for it and trade the US dollars for the yuan. What they've done is they've put up a firewall around their economies, I think out of concern that there's a crypto bubble, and that it will take their economies down if they're dabbling too heavily. While this can happen, you also get the bubble. You also get the highs. The highs and lows are fairly natural in economic systems. Who ultimately, therefore, wins out? The country that is dampening the lows but also not gaining the highs, or the country that has full-on crypto fever and rises to the greatest heights, potentially, if it plays its cards right at that point, has a massively expanded role in the world economy, but then all of a sudden could potentially crash as well. It's not entirely clear. I can't give you that advice. I wish that I could. If I was that sort of fiscal oracle, I'd be a billionaire. By the way, it's funny to see the dichotomy, not only with states, like, with India's outright ban, El Salvador making it a legal currency, U.S. somewhere in the middle. It's also funny to see people who are experts, and we use that in the loose term, in economics as well, or even in tech, sort of making ranks. You've got one school that's like, oh, crypto is bullshit. It is nothing, it's just zeros and ones. It takes a lot of energy. Why are you even using it? It makes no sense. There's the other side that says, well, we've got smart contracts and blockchains and less centralized currency distribution, and it's way, way better. And so you've got these two schools of thought. Then you've got different schools of thought within the pro-crypto crowd about different crypto. As well as anti, like, you get some people who are like, well, Bitcoin's kind of a neat idea, but then you've got all these shit coins around, or as they would be called, altcoins, potentially. Like, I hold Cardano. Some people praise me for that and think that it's a genius move to buy hundreds of Cardano. Other people call it a boomer coin and say, what the fuck are you doing, sticks? Again, take your pick. There are so many different opinions. It's almost a little bit like the dot-com bubble era. Honestly, the fervor with which people are discussing crypto, the different opinions about it, the excitement and fiscal, especially energy with regards to crypto reminds me a lot of like the late 90s, early 2000s with dot-coms, or even maybe like the late 2000s boom of social media. You know, the way MySpace goes the way of the dinosaur, and you've got all these other sites rising up, YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and shit. It reminds me of those periods technologically. I lived through them, showing my age. I think it's great. I want to get more crypto, actually. And when it goes down again, and again, this is not financial advice, and it's not necessarily even the wisest thing to do, and I would never invest more than I'm willing to completely lose, to be clear. But when it goes down, I just get the sense, well, it'd be a good buy-in. And then when it goes up, it's like, oh, all of a sudden the thing that I bought when it was, worth less than it is now is worth more. Well, that's wonderful, and it's fairly elementary. You just have to determine where you think the lows will be lowest, where the highs will be highest, which is impossible to do, but you can take an educated guess. You can try. I mean, again, because I look back, and I think of myself back when I was in college, we're talking many years ago, when Bitcoin was very, very new, and it was like, what, $2 a coin or something. I had the opportunity to buy like $100, $200 worth of Bitcoin. I'd be a millionaire if I had followed my instinct and done so. The only thing that really prevented me at the time was the fact that I was very poor. It would have represented investing everything. And let's be clear, let's be honest. I probably would have sold out at the first peak at a few hundred a coin. So I would have made a decent amount of money. I could have paid off a nice tuition chunk or probably spent it on drugs. It would have been nice, but then I'd be kicking myself anyway, so I don't kick myself too hard. But this time I'm convinced I should get in. And so I have. Up until now, I've been passively invested in cryptocurrency in the sense that I take donations as crypto. By the way, links in the description if you want to give me money. Give me fucking money. But now I'm buying in. I'm using my own money, my own fiat currency, to buy more crypto. And it's kind of exciting too, Sort of like, wow, I'm involved with a major cultural zeitgeist. Wow, this is kind of cool. That's about all. Peace out.